Well, the rain is now falling in Lexington. The last races were canceled. Last 2 races of the card were canceled. It's so weird down here. You know, you can see the storm coming in. I remember when I was a kid, you could tell when it was really hot, and then you just feel that barometer change. There was this gust of wind that came in just before they canceled the races, and it was very nice. It was like disgustingly hot here when I got here, and when it got cloudy, it just cooled off. It was perfect. It was the perfect weather, but just off in the distance, you could see lightning strikes, and I knew Kentucky has rules. If there's a lightning strike, now I believe this is a rule, don't quote me on this, but if there's a lightning strike within 10 miles, the races are delayed half an hour. And there was a storm coming, so they rushed the Hangar 1 race out the door. It said 4 minutes to post, and by the time I actually walked over to the horse, there was horses going out on the track. They rushed them as quick as they could and got them out of there. Where are we going here? I think I'm supposed to stay right. This is the weirdest transfer I've ever seen. Okay, all right, I'm good. So, and then it just started raining, and there was lightning and thunder, and anyway, whatever. So a bit of an odd day today. The horses raced very, very well in Lexington. Just trying to get a handle on who did what today. You can go away. So when I got down here, I really didn't know what would happen with respect to Steady Volo and Hangar 1. I warmed up Steady Volo. I was happy with him, but he's looking around and just being a baby, being stupid, right? He's never raced. It's his first lifetime start. Touching his outside knee, if you look, coming back to the winner's circle, that knee boot was dropped down. Got to put a little duct tape on that. I don't think we have to screw around with the shoeing just yet. I felt, yeah, he was touching himself, but he really wasn't at himself that bad. And I think just leave it alone for now, and I think we'll be fine. You know, he was a winner in 58 last quarter and 28-1. I was happy with him. But how would Nut Bar do? How would Hangar 1 do today? I had no idea. I knew I wasn't really looking forward to the race because, you know, my back actually felt better as the night went on. But how would it feel after Hangar got done with me? I had no idea. He was actually quite polite. I went out today, got away fourth. I had to fight with him just a little bit to keep him back. Cut him loose. The only downside of his overall race tonight, he was at his inside knee a little bit, running into the turns, but yet running out the whole way down the lane with the Murphy blind on. He was running across the track pretty good. Drives in a straight line. I don't know if I beat Todd. Was it Todd or Andy? I'm not sure. But I was Dexter. What am I talking about? But I definitely give him a scare. I can tell you that. Not very often a horse will come into racing at any racetrack, Kentucky or otherwise, and trot their last quarter in 26-4 and get defeated. And that's exactly what happened tonight with Hangar 1. Closing hard on the end of it. He never stopped trotting all the way to the wire. You know, it was funny. I went to get something to eat. The thing I love about Kentucky is it doesn't matter where you go in Kentucky. If you sit down to have a meal, there are horse people there. I sat down, Scotty and I went out to eat after, and Tim Tetrick walked in. Of course, he's driving Jailbird Jog on Wednesday, so he talked briefly about her. I'd already talked to him about her anyway, and he was joking about the Hangar 1 horse was drifting out down the lane, and I said, well, I was just happy that he did his work well and behaved because, he's such a unique horse. Usually when you have horses that are rude, like he can be, that are just disobedient, they have that attitude to them where you're like, I don't want to deal with you today. They have a bad attitude, but Hangar doesn't. When you look at him in the barn, he's a very, very kind horse. Very quiet, very behaved, obedient horse. But when you get him in the harness and you go out the track, sometimes he isn't. And it's not from him being angry or mean. I know his feet bother him a little bit. And that was on display tonight. He didn't touch his knee the first 3/8 of the mile. Didn't touch his knee coming to the 3/4 pole. He only touched his knee when I asked him to really bear down and trot. and that's indicative of him maybe having his feet are a little bit sore. Now the good news is he's in a place where the kindest place in the world for feet would be right here in Kentucky. So I would say after 2 or 3 starts, you're going to see that dissipate a little bit. And the fact that his feet were stinging him a little bit, and he was still so behaved, was impressive. As I said, don't dismiss his mile. That was a huge win for us and a huge win for him, even though we never got a picture taken. Last quarter in 26-4, coming from off the pace, mildly behaved in the middle of the mile. I was extremely impressed with Hanger 1 tonight. And Steady Bolo, I was really happy with him. Both colts will improve. You saw the rawest version of them tonight, and I was really happy with both of them. Now, we started off the night with Greatest Ending. Now, Jason McGinnis and I had quite a few really good talks about Greatest Ending right now. You may see him surface in Ontario over the next 2 weeks. There's a pop-up series coming up, and although I don't like the prospect of shipping him places, I also don't like the prospect of racing for little money when they go in 51, right? The horse goes out and paces in 53 off 4+ weeks and is a beaten 5th, 4th, whatever he was. That's not super enticing to me. There is a number of clients that emailed me and said, hey, did you see this new pop-up series? And Jason was actually the one that brought it up and said, hey, what about the series that's coming up in Ontario? Tom had messaged me also, and he'd asked about Patrick LaPerona, which, yeah, you can make an argument for Patrick LaPerona to go there, but I've been itching for a reason to send Greatest Ending over there. So I think you may see him surface in Ontario next week. So can't really ask him to do much more. Are you going to get upset because he paced 53 flat his first start back off a qualifier? I don't see how we can be upset with the horse at all tonight. He looked good. Jason drove the horse good. He looked comfortable to me. He raced as hard as he could. I just think it was unfair that they went in 51, but that's life. Chicago Hall, good, buried. He gets any room, I think he's a winner. Ended up buried up, finishing up, going through the wire, and not really anybody's fault. I think Chris drove the horse perfect. He could have started him up the inside maybe, but it looked like the middle was going to open up when he started through there. I certainly thought he made the right move. And you know what? The horse got a grassroots coming up next week. I guess finishing up on a helmet's not the worst thing that could happen to Chicago Hall tonight. I thought he raced pretty good. And then JK Victory. Not very often you get a real honest-to-goodness tall effort from JK Victory Racing from off the pace. But had the 7-hole tonight, got away 7th, and closed up very, very strongly to be 3rd. I thought he raced well also. We still have Neptune left. He races in about, well, I was going to wait to include Neptune in our videos, but when I turned on the races, they were only on race 10 when they were supposed to be on race 13. So I am not going to have it. I'm not going to wait. You can wait until tomorrow. So good luck to my partners with Neptune. Tomorrow I plan on going out and taking some videos and looking at our yearlings. I also wanted to swing by a farm. I messaged 4 farms today and nobody got back to me. Maybe they will in the morning. I don't know. I was planning on going to Spring Station or Hunterton's it's a tall order, and a number of our clients want to visit those places also. So that's not really a place I need to go, like a Kentuckiana, Hunterton, those bigger farms. I didn't really feel the need to visit those ones today. I was going to go look at maybe a smaller one tomorrow. I was going to go look at a smaller one, and I never got a chance to yet. So maybe they'll message me back in the morning. Who knows? But for sure, I'm going to swing out to Haley Moore's farm. I'm going to take some pictures, maybe some videos of our babies that are going to be coming in soon enough. I didn't get a chance to. Where are we at here? I'm right here. I'm here right now. I didn't get a chance to look and see how the shares were selling. So the shares were selling and moving of Cover My Short, but I will later on tonight when I finish up here. I am very interested to see how that plays out. That is a very I'm gonna go valet here. Where do you want me to? Can I park this in valet?
Yes, you can.
Okay. Do I just leave it with you?
Yes.
Okay. guess I just leave it right here. I saw the parking lot. It's full. I'm not playing that game tonight. My back is killing me, and I have about 40 minutes left before the pool's closed and the hot tub's closed. Let's see if I can get in real quick. So, we'll talk more about Cover My Short tomorrow and the other babies that are going to be sold, the last 2 over the next 2 weeks. But for right now, I am done for the night. Very pleased. I did not know what I would get tonight. Listen, Steady Volo could have made a break. Hanger 1 could have tipped over or went 1,000,000 miles an hour off the gate. I was thoroughly pleased with the way both those colts handled themselves tonight. It was a good night for us at the stable and a great start to this week. So, take care. I will talk to you in the morning. Lots to talk about tomorrow. Lots to do tomorrow. I don't have one horse to race tomorrow, but I have a number of things to take care of here in Lexington. Take care, everybody. Have a wonderful rest of your evening.